Hello. Welcome to what will be an amazing adventure. This is actually a fairly good tower defense. The design is pretty interesting. It's called S.O.S. TD. It's an old one, but it's gold. So the way this whole business works is you have a dude which spawns, and it'll be the level 1 child at the moment, but you can upgrade it. And you need to protect it. So he's on his way, but there's monsters coming after him. So watch out for those monsters, because those are quite meanies. There is a slight glitch at the moment that allows you to right-click multiple times to kill mobs, but I'm going to try not to use it. So if I went like this, for example, yeah, you can see how much damage you can do instantly. I'm a bit worried I won't actually kill these mobs. Normally I would get past the first level okay, but I'm trying a slightly different tactic, but I'm getting punished for it. So I might have to be a little bit cheeky and do something I don't necessarily want to do, which is of course the right click spam, but once I get past that, it'll be all good. I might do it for like the first level, and even then it's not a guarantee, right? A little bit cheeky, so... And then what will happen is I'll let this guy leak. So anything that you leak will come over to here, your defense tower, and you can upgrade this. Yeah, I know guys, I know. I'm essentially just trying to get the ice tower leveled up as fast as possible because I think it's the strongest tower in the game once it gets to the level 4. So here goes the child again. Going to be chased by the meanies. I could be in trouble though for the first level or two. It's once I get this upgraded. Oh, that's much better damage. Trying to spread damage and the slow. It lasts quite a long time, that slow. So each player has a similar deal, right? They have a civilian spawn for themselves, and it goes through the maze alongside the bad guys, and their civilian is then going to go to their safety tower. And there's a healing fountain at the middle, which is nice. But it can also be a problem, because the enemies that do manage to make it through your maze will actually be able to make use of the healing fountain as well, and that could be very tough versus certain bosses. So once they come through, they're going to try to kill your civilians. So you want to try to protect them if you can. But that's what the tower's for. However, the tower won't deal with the later levels. There we go. Oh. Okay. So we can get a level 4 ice tower, which is a beautiful thing. Ah, it's been nerfed in this version. Oh, I raced to this tower and it's been nerfed. We were used to playing a 1.2. This is a 1.3. And the 1.2 has an ability called Breath of Frost, which is basically like the Panda's Breath of Fire. And it's on a short cooldown and it doesn't cost mana. Oh, you think it's the next one? Ah, I can cast Frost Breath. Okay. So I've got to wait one more turn then. But the Ice Tower is the MVP, in my opinion. The only place where the MVP Ice Tower fails is versus the boss. And funnily enough, the boss levels are the ones that are going to kill you, typically speaking. So whilst you can have this be super good versus all the levels, you will want something that has an answer to the boss. But we don't know exactly what that answer is. The boss has fortified armor. So it does take extra damage from siege or, you know, flat damage from chaos because chaos doesn't care about your armor type. The best thing to do, in my opinion, is to try to upgrade this child to the max level. because it obviously gives it more health. It'll start to be able to fight back because it can take damage. It can do damage. It can become a range unit, but the range units aren't so good. So there's the Breath of Frost. It's super short cooldown, super strong. So I was going to get like multiples of these set up in different locations. So this one will cover the creatures going this way. This one will cover the creatures going this way and then back. Then I could have this one for damage in here. A little bit over here. And then finally here. Or you could stack them all in one spot, which will be easier to spam your Breath of Frost. However, it will be less effective than having to slow all the way around. But in my opinion, the Ice Tower is ridiculously good. One of the benefits of upgrading the child is that it also allows you to construct more towers. So if you pay attention, I've got 4 towers here. So let's upgrade this.
Upgrade complete.
Now, you can see over here, it will give you new towers if you upgrade to the Lady, which will be a Fire Tower and Endurance Tower. There's a few towers that are actually specifically for buffing the child, or rather the civilian in this case. I can afford that, that's true. I'll wait a moment though first, because the kid's already spawned. I'm trying to show it off slowly over time, High Phaser. Already getting backseat gamed, it's unbelievable. But yeah, so that's the child level 2. Now if we go to Lady, Milady, you'll have a lady spawn for you. And she'll be a bit stronger than a child. However, eventually you're probably going to lose these guys anyway when you leak a boss later on, because the bosses will get stronger and stronger, and these guys have got so little health that it'll be insignificant in the late game. So, yeah, we now have access to a Fire Tower, which is basically like a Chaos Tower, except it attacks quick and does less damage, because it has Chaos damage as well. It says full damage or splash, but we don't know exactly how good that is. I did upgrade it a bunch of times. I didn't seem to be impressed with it, though. The Endurance Tower is actually to help the civilians, so in this case, the Lady, go through your maze. So if you had an Endurance Tower here, I don't know how much I want to spend on that, though. But you can also have that, so then they move quicker, right? And that gives them a better chance to escape what is coming after them. So that's a really cool premise. It doesn't do anything for your towers. It's just for helping the civilian break free. So I can have an Endurance Tower here, I think. Because the aura, like in Warcraft 3, will still last on the character, even after the aura has left. Or the character's left the aura. Position, range. So it's definitely worth getting another Ice Tower just to be set up for the next few levels, and then it's about killing the boss. So yeah, the aura should last until about here from the top, and then she'll come around and get hit by this aura, which will last to there, to there. So you could have one here and one here if you really wanted. There's one that also gives healing over time, so you might not necessarily want to spend too much on the aura. As long as you've got a bit of healing, that will help them survive. Because the bosses will catch up and they'll do some damage. I'm going to upgrade another Lady. Have I thought about the healing towers and letting the boss catch up to the fighter later on, making them fight in front of towers? Yeah, you can't control the civilian though. But yeah, the healer tower, as I was saying, is pretty damn good, man. It's very good health regeneration for the civilians, so you don't have to spend too much on trying to help them escape. As long as you've got a bit of healing to help them not die. I might get a full Chaos Tower, because I think that's the best one against the boss. Actually, maybe the Siege Tower in that case, because it does technically do the highest damage, right? It's just whether it targets the boss efficiently, because as you know, Siege Towers tend to have like a clunky attack projectile that doesn't necessarily hit very fast, so the boss can actually move out of the way. But it doesn't have attack ground, so it means that there's a better chance. I'm going to go for the anti-boss Siege Tower, since the Ice Tower is so strong. It will fall off later on, by the way, the ice tower, but it's ridiculously strong for like the earlier levels. You can get access to stun tower and healing tower with the man, which the stun tower is very good, but it doesn't work on bosses, just on the minions. However, because it doesn't work on the bosses, it feels like it's a bit of a waste, because the bosses are the levels where you're gonna potentially die. Damage over time with Breath of Frost. I might go for the man. Been keeping tabs on the man lately. Just need some extra gold. So each player's going to have their own style. They have a identical maze. It's just what they build to help their dude get through. So stone towers for Rikes. And the big old ice tower. Stone tower, yeah, I get that. Because if you upgrade enough times over here, you can get access to the stone tower. Uh-oh. Fred's got a few leaks. Rikes is coming in here to get some last hits. Cheeky as ever. Only the man can attack onwards, otherwise the whammon can't. So you can try to take the creatures and then pull them over to your tower to get the last hits. Which is what they're doing now. So you can get some bonus kills. So Rikes is definitely cashing in here. Frostbite's going to lose his barbarian though for that greed. But he does manage to get a couple more kills. I think Rikes has definitely cashed in the most there. So yeah, the downside of upgrading the siege tower is essentially I think this guy's just supposed to be a better version. And you can get access to him if you upgrade to the man. So I might go with that. You need to keep upgrading this because it'll give you access to more advanced towers. And then you can get the siege. But I do want to kill this boss actually. I want to make sure I kill that. So I might still upgrade the siege to its max. I shouldn't have upgraded this ice tower, I don't think. That was money spent. That's not doing much at the moment. It'll be touch and go as to whether I can kill the boss. Actually, the projectile is quite quick from this character. I think it's a direct hit, so it should always do its full damage. Which is a lot here. I think I'd be more inclined to just go for another siege tower now. Just so I can definitely deal with the boss. Well, even then I'm not 100% sure. Over upgrading the Chaos Tower. So my man has made it, and he can attack. So that's nice. Might need that when it comes down to the boss. I'm not going to upgrade this again though. We're going to just push this a few more times. And hope that that is enough. There we go. That's my money spent. So here he is. Doesn't take anything from the slow. So no chance there. That he doesn't get affected by that. So it just comes down to whether the siege tower actually does much damage here. It does, but it doesn't look like it's going to kill him by the time he's got through my maze. So that's a bit disappointing. So then it comes down to whether this tower can kill him. You can upgrade this, and it's probably good for the late game, but it's also good for picking up the bosses, and the bosses will give you 61 gold. We can always use the kids, women and children first, as a shield wall to give my tower more chance to kill the boss. He's got so much health though. This tower's got to attack for a long time before I can kill him. So basically, the siege tower's kind of trash.
What's your name?
Greetings, friend.
I'm Four.
Greetings, friend.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello. Hello.
So he'll focus the man.
Welcome to our village.
Hello. Hey.
Welcome to our village.
Greetings, my lord. I'm
Hello
Four.
there. Greetings, friend. Greetings, friend.
Who are you?
Oh no, people are pulling more into my area. What the heck? Ah, I am not strong enough for this. You can't go up this way. It used to it used to transport them over there. Oh, it kind of did a little bit. So yeah, 31 gold is up for grabs. Who's going to get the last hit?
Hello. Hey, who are you?
I think I lost both my men, didn't I?
Welcome to our village.
No, Frostbite stealing. Oh man, look at this. All that gold. Makes me sad. Bring them closer to my tower. Oh, what is this? This is rigged. A bit higher. Just a bit. There we go. Stay there. Stay.
What's your name?
One of us has got to get some gold here.
Welcome to
Too
our
much
village.
punishment. The children will be sacrificed. For the greater good. For the greater God. Don't you dare try to get the last hit. This is for me and Hawkeye. Yeah, 61 gold! I thought it was 31 gold. I think he got buffed in the amount of gold he gave. There you go. That's a little bit of a pick-me-up. Because I just wasted so much on this. You do get 90% of your money back on this. So I might just take the money back, to be honest. Because it is trash. And I'm going to upgrade these guys quickly.
Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete.
Yeah. There's a problem with kiting the boss, because I mentioned that Fountain of Health does tend to heal, including the enemy. So now he's got 12,000 health again, so I hope you've got some damage. You're basically being greedy, just protecting your own worker, your own dude. Yeah, keep the footman alive, but now he's at full health, so it's going to take a while to whittle him down. You can use little dudes to sort of block, because he's going to be fixated on the character that can do damage to him. So you can tactically block here. So a bit of micro skill for the players, which is nice to see. What's that, Taco? Have I thought about having the healing towers? And oh yeah. I see. You asked me that earlier. I like it. A bit of a skill. This is only the first boss level, by the way. There's more to come. And it's inevitably the bosses that cause you the trouble, as you can see. So, I think upgrading the civilian... Once you've got the Frost Tower to max level, you can deal with the initial first 9 levels. And then you want to just upgrade your civilians as much as you can after you've got that Frost Tower up. Ooh. 285 gold. So if I want, I can either upgrade this again.
Upgrade complete.
And if I feel like I'm struggling, then I can just upgrade this one more time for a second lot of frost breath. Try to keep them close together if I can. As you can see, that's doing nowhere near as much damage now. So it looks like I'm going to have to upgrade shortly. Probably can get past this level. Maybe the next level as well. Yeah. Damage is still really, really good. Crazy how strong that is. So... the best civilian to have is the fully upgraded soldier dude, as opposed to the range one. I tried the range one last time we played this. She's okay, but she's nowhere near as good as very high health and high damage. She has like half the damage, half the health, but she's ranged. But that's not good enough. It doesn't make up for it.
Upgrade complete.
So it's this dude. Gives you access to new towers. If you noticed, I can change and build these towers now. The Star Tower is a very good AoE tower. Lightning Tower seems pretty good. Sting Tower did not seem so good. It suggested versus bosses, but I wasn't too impressed with the damn thing. Earthquake Tower is... It slows down mobs in packs, so it has its purpose. Yeah, we're still strong. It seems like I can probably go straight to the big dude. Which is in your favor to do so, because each level you have a civilian that you can keep alive. And this civilian can then fight for you. So the more of them that you have for the last levels, the better off you're going to be versus the inevitable bosses that come through and leak. So,
Yes, my liege.
I'm bored.
I don't think I'm too worried about trying to... Oi! You're trying to steal my kills. They're mine!
Say the word.
These are my leaks, not yours.
You need.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. I can't afford him anyway, so I may as well treat myself to that ice tower. Well, I'll see first how badly I do on this level. Wait, did you kill one of my dudes? I'm pretty sure you did, didn't you? I'm sure I had more than one soldier. Can't trust these guys. Well, this level looks a bit easier than the last one, actually.
Upgrade complete.
And this is the final upgrade. So you can do that quite early, really. Probably a bit earlier than you should be able to, because of how good this ice tower is. If it costs mana, then you'd have to be a bit more cautious about how you used it. I'm not going for the Warden, no. I had the Warden last time. It wasn't good. It looks like the civilians behave a bit better here, because in the previous version we played, they would sometimes get stuck here, or right at the start, and then they wouldn't go to the middle. So they'd just stand there, fight, and get killed. So you wouldn't even have that many of them left at the end. Getting a bit touch and go here. I'm trying to save though. I want to get the elite swordsman, even if it means I leak a bunch here. I think I can kill them with these guys. They haven't got much health. Ah,
Get on with it.
yeah.
Leave it to me.
Hey,
The blood elves await.
That's better.
Yes, my liege.
Thirst
You
for
need.
magic.
Oh, you little thieves.
Be quick. Time is mana. Easily done. Say the word. Yes, my liege. Be quick. Time is mana.
Put me off my game. But I want to get this upgraded,
Upgrade.
because then it's done. It's done. There's no air levels as far as I know. So here's a big boy. It's got some of that hero armor. Oh, yeah, that's true. Go heal at the fountain.
Get on with it. For Quel'Thalas. Watch and learn. Very clever. The Blood Elves.
Kids are in the way. Oh, I'm gonna leak massively here. I need to kill something so I can upgrade that. Oh no. I'm gonna soften them all up, but I'm not gonna get any kills. Damn it, I need a bit of gold. I'm gonna sell this. I have to. Yeah, this is a tough level. That was the right call, though.
I thirst for magic.
What's your name? Hello.
Get on with it. I'll handle
Got these filthy ninjas stealing all my gold. The map is pretty unforgiving if you do leak.
Job's done. Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete.
That's not so bad, man. Good recovery.
Who are you?
Say the Blood Elves
Hello.
await. Leave it to me.
Hello. Hey,
Be quick.
who are you?
It's mine.
What's your name? I'm 4.
I lose control. Hey! I can't believe these bastards. They're stealing all my gold. I'm gonna start killing everything you have.
Upgrade complete.
I'm 4.
I'm literally just trying to steal everything now. I'm already behind now because of these bastards taking everything from me.
Who are you? Hey, what's your name?
There will have to be a punishment for this. I think it might be time to start concentrating on the boss level now that I've managed to recoup. Having 3 of these is put me in a better spot. See, that's good positions, that is. And it covers multiple grounds. So, a more powerful siege tower. And then you have the Sting Tower, which I really didn't like that much. But if I put it... I think it had like a 400 range. So it has to be put like very specifically. So it can hit at least here, here, and here. The poison lasts for quite a long time. So it probably only needs to hit like here and here. And then it's going to do full damage around there. And then full damage around here. So I think you can be okay putting the Sting here. I'm just thinking of the next boss.
Job's done.
It says it's good, so I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. It's 50 damage per second. It seemed to last almost forever, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so I'm not putting it right at the start. I'm going to put it in a position where it can hit twice if need be. It does have a very slow attack rate, so you can't really micro it too well against a multitude of mobs, I don't think. I mean, one of the best answers versus the boss is actually, honestly, just to upgrade the defense tower.
Upgrade complete.
Because someone's going to leak.
Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete. More gold is
I'll get that up. Yeah. Rami's more than happy to help you out, Fred.
Very clever. Very clever. Watch and learn.
Upgrade complete.
So that's now maxed. No, there's no auto cast on the Frost Breath as far as I know, but it's not the hardest thing. Just have it hotkeyed. I got 2, 3, 4. So that's 2 at the moment. Still 2. So 2, 3, 4. And you just rotate like that. And you can put like the poison on 5 if you want to specifically hit anything. But because it hits so slowly, I don't have too much faith in it. So, Thunderbolt, multiple enemies. The Thunderbolt was actually pretty good. That was like 3,600 damage. It was casting Fort Lightning, wasn't it? So, pretty damn good, that one. But a lot of these are like AoE. Earthquake Tower has its place. Because it slows down the mobs. I think it's got a very good value to it.
More gold is required.
I think it's got long enough range that you can put it here and it can reach there, there, and here. So I think that's a... it's pretty good. It's not too much expense. And it will basically slow down the ground. So it slows everything by 80%. It walks over it. Oh, it's a boss level now. So... yeah. I don't have a specific single target. The Grim Reaper's kind of trash, by the way. I wish it was better, but it's pretty trash, from what I could tell. At least I got the poison ticking, but he's got 27k health, so he doesn't care too much about that poison.
The Blood Elves await.
Hey,
Easily done. I'll handle it.
what's your name?
I'll be ready to fight. Women and children first.
I thirst for magic.
I'm 4.
Watch and learn. Get on with it.
I'm 4. Hey,
Oh yeah, we got this. So these guys, they're so strong though. 91 gold. Let's see if we can help anyone else. Oh, Soap stole from me earlier. It's a shame I don't get to steal from him there, because he definitely stole from me earlier.
hello.
I'll survive one more level, and then I'll do Star Tower, because it's just good AoE. Thunderbolt's super good too. It doesn't tell you the range of all these towers, but some are low. They've only got like 400 range or something, so you've got to be very careful how you build them. At least you get like 90% gold back, but still end up losing a bunch of gold considering they cost so much.
I'm 4.
is required. More gold is required.
Steel.
More gold is required. Job's done.
I'll probably get the Thunderbolt Tower, and then after that I'll go back to stone towers. You might have had the idea to build in the middle. But you can't. You think you can, but you can't. Because it does sometimes seem a bit wasteful building over here when you could build here. But it doesn't let your worker there.
Hello. Who are you? What's your name?
It's a chunk of gold. Could have another frost tower over here if I wanted. But again, it falls flat. Because it's the boss levels that you're really worried about. Oh my goodness. This level's a little bit... That's what you call dealt with. Let's go and help Hawkeye.
I'm 4. Hey. I'm 4. Who are you?
Off she goes. I don't know where she's going, to be honest. Okay.
Hey. What's your name?
Ah, I'm 8 gold shy of the Thunderbolt Tower. No, I'm not. Well, there you go then. Thunderbolt Tower it is.
Job's done.
I thought it was 650. Got those pesky Eridar warlocks to deal with now. There you go, you see those lightnings coming through. So it's got a bit of a cooldown, but it's basically 3,600 damage if it hits its target. Or hits 3 targets. Poison probably affects, I don't know, 20% of the mobs that run through the maze? 15%? It's not too bad. It's only 200 gold, I suppose. So, whilst it would be nice to try to give the benefit of the doubt to the Grim Reaper residents, I might be more inclined just to spend that gold on Stone Tower upgrades instead. Stun Tower's just for like normal levels. It's not that necessary.
Job's done.
Upgrade complete.
We've got 189 survivors, so we've played this map a couple of times now, so we're obviously a bit better
Time is mana.
than when we originally played it.
Very clever.
Oh, you're not using stun towers, are you? Yeah, some people do. Which just slows it down even more.
The blood elves win.
Hawk trying to steal there.
I thirst for magic. Easily done.
Thin out some of the children. What is this, Sparta?
I'll handle it. Leave it to me.
This actually makes us, like, everyone just like is on edge and wants to fight each other. Because everyone's trying to steal other people's kills, and then it makes you want to get revenge on them if they do. It was working for me earlier. This is the kind of map that turns you against your friends. Oh, look at that damage. It's not messing around, is it? It's got a fairly sluggish attack, though, being average. I think the siege tower attacked a bit quicker.
Get on with it. Be quick. Time is
So, yeah, I think this map isn't too much of a problem if you know what you're doing. It's probably a bit too easy if you know what you're doing. But if you've not played this before, you wouldn't have, like, this many dudes.
Get
You'd
on
probably
with
only
it.
have, like, a fraction, like even just that amount by this point.
Very clever.
But
Watch
because we know
and
what we're
learn.
doing,
Be quick.
we got a whole bunch of these, so we should be quite good for the rest of the game, but time will tell. We haven't technically beaten it yet. A speed tower is in an aura. There was the critical tower, but that had piercing damage, so it made me less inclined to get it, because piercing doesn't do much versus a boss. The stone tower max does 1,000 damage. It's a pretty good chunk. It's not super good though, because I imagine the boss is going to have a lot more than 1,000 health. Earthquake Tower is definitely worth it. That slow is very valuable, and it's not like I think the boss can be affected by it as well, because it's not like a direct cast.
The blood elves are
What are these kids doing in?
leave it to me. Your magic is mine. It's come to this.
Get off my yard! I told you to take your children away from my yard.
Your magic is
No ball
mine.
games.
Easily done. Watch and learn.
Arthas must be called to save the villagers.
Job's done. Upgrade complete. Upgrade.
Yeah.
Upgrade.
So it does look like it's worth playing this version, 1.3 over 1.2, because I haven't seen the civilians get stuck.
Blood elves.
I was a bit worried that this might be one of those deals where the map maker, or the person, like someone took the map, edited it, and made it easy for themselves or something. But this is staying true to how the game actually is. I think the potential of this map is very good. But yeah, if you're in a position like we are, it feels like we're a bit invincible at the moment. Unless it's like civil war or something.
Is mana. I thirst for magic. I thirst for magic. Very clever. The blood elves await.
Just
Be
don't
quick.
think I can escape.
Time is mana. I'll handle it.
Even if just a couple of them could make it outside somehow.
Get on with it. Very clever. I thirst for magic. Be quick. Time is mana. Watch and learn. The Blood Elves await. Be quick. Time is mana. I thirst for magic. The Blood Elves await. Get on with it. Easily done. The Blood Elves await. Get on with it.
I can't. I haven't managed to get one of them outside. So I don't think I can glitch the system. This is a tougher level.
Be quick. Leave it as mana. I'll handle it. I thirst for magic. Get on with it. Leave it to me. Easily done. Very clever. Watch and learn.
Job's done. Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete. Upgrade.
Should be a boss level coming up again at some point, I think. Starfall Tower doesn't seem that impressive, but theoretically it should be at least quite useful whilst there's a bunch of mobs out and about. I don't mind it that much. I'm not saying it's mega value, but the lightning tower certainly is, but it's pretty expensive, that one. It might be better having the Starfall Tower here, but I don't have so many slows there, so maybe where this giant is instead. You could get multiple Sting Towers and hope that they eventually poison everything for a continuous 50 damage per second.
I thirst for magic. The Blood Elves. I'll handle it. Watch and learn.
Got to change those
Get
colors.
on with it. I'll handle it. Be quick. Time is mana.
Damn, sorry. I didn't think that was going to one-shot.
I thirst for magic. Leave it to me. Get on with it.
Units are pretty maxed out.
The Blood Elves await.
Yes. Do we really need stun towers?
Quick. Time is mana.
Hello.
That's true.
Get on
He is stuck in the middle, and his only way of escaping
It's come to this. Very
is
clever.
through the villagers themselves.
I thirst for magic. Orders?
Who are you?
Be quick. Time is mana.
They should learn from that mistake and not get in his way next time.
Job's done. Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete. Upgrade.
Oh, boss time. Let's see how these stone towers do. It's not too bad. Yeah, they're packing a punch. Oh, you've managed to... Your guy glitched and is forced to fight. How the hell? Yeah, I don't think I can glitch my own guy. I could slow him, actually. Oh, I see. Yeah, you slow him with the... No! It happened again. Penguin's laughing at me. The hotkey for slow for Earthquake is the same as Cell.
The Blood Elves await.
Hello.
You know I love my hotkeys.
Be
Let's come back. Pull him in. Because otherwise others are going to come and steal.
The blood elves
I mean, at this point, we got so many soldiers, I think we can take all the bosses.
be quick. Time is mana. Easily done.
But yeah, you slow your own dude and he turns around and fights. Because the other guy catches up and they get locked into combat. Makes sense. Wow. There is that. Yeah. Here. Okay. I think we just broke the map now at this point. Clear the levels quicker. I might try for that ultimate tower then. It's got 400 range, so it's going to have to be put in the middle here and not on the side.
The blood elves await.
We're definitely too strong there.
Get on with it.
Maybe they need to put a time gate on the elite swordsman.
I thirst for magic.
I might just remove that then. For God's sake! There's that hotkey again.
Job's done.
It's going to require a bit of practice, that is. Not too much though. Yeah, I hate it. I have to click it. I don't like clicking. I can click these, I guess. Left click on the towers. But typically I put hotkeys. Uh-oh, he's not going to survive. No, I can't swap over to heal quick enough. Needs to be on the other. Needs to be on the right hand side. On the bright side, I can get the Grim Tower.
Job's done.
Imagine having like the most expensive tower only have 400 range. It basically is just the stone tower, except it attacks slower. And doesn't even do bonus damage versus the boss. From what I can tell. Come on, turn around and fight, you muppet. I'm gonna have to slow him earlier then. Just needs a bit of practice. I'll get the swing of it. I'll put a cheapo healing tower here for now. Oh wait, how do you get over there? I don't want to kill my own unit, but technically you can actually clear the level quicker if you just have him defend and fight. But I guess everyone else has to do it as well.
Get on with it.
Greetings, my lord.
I'm going to see how long these last if I put them over here. Okay, Minotaur is ready. Gets that slow nice and early. But he doesn't want to slow the enemy creatures, so he's going to move the slow over here so that he can catch up. There you go, practice makes perfect. That looks good to me. Just slightly out of range of the Grim though. That's pretty stupid, isn't it? I don't know how you get around that issue though, as the map maker. Lightning Tower could be quite good then. Stacking up those lightnings on multiple. It's debatable as to whether that's quicker though, because these guys hit so damn hard. Don't know if Starfall stacks. He's going to fight them over here. That's a problem. So I'm going to lose this one. So that doesn't really solve the problem. Because then he just turns around and fights them and dies anyway. It was interesting. But probably not worth it. Got a lot of health, these girls. There you go, maxed out that giant now.
Quick, time is mana. Very clever.
You need.
Oh, they're still over here.
Our forces are under attack.
The Blood Elves await.
Looks a bit one-sided.
Quick, time is mana.
Level 35 now.
More gold is required.
Might put another Sting Tower, why not? Oh, I think the Grim Reaper actually one-shots him, doesn't it? Yeah. It's got some sort of special effect. That does make him worth it then. Especially in the late levels.
The Blood Elves await.
Hello.
I thirst for magic.
You can only get one though. And is there really anything that competes? Let's give the old critical tower a go.
Job's done. Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete.
So probably got about 900 damage on average if you take into account the crit. Oh, it's crabs. Which still isn't as good as that, but it does attack fast, which is a big difference. Looks like it can miss though. Or is it the Sting Tower missing for some reason? I guess these guys have got evasion or something? Don't really need to micro the frost anymore. It's a small enemy crab. I get a fire tower maxed as well for the lols.
Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete. Our forces are under attack.
More gold is required. More gold is required.
Upgrade complete.
Little Timmy just likes to play.
Greetings, my lord.
His mother's having a natter with another lady,
My lord. Welcome to
not
our
paying attention to what her son's doing. I went for a walk the other day and I saw this pram being pushed by an invisible ghost, and then I realized it was a small child who was the same height as the pram. I thought, oh, that's kind of cute. The mum's letting the kid push the pram. But then I realized it's not because she thought it was cute. She was busy yapping away on her mobile phone, which was held like this on speakerphone. And her kids were just like in various different directions walking down the path. And she was wearing like sweaters, trainers. She looked like a proper chav, basically, like mega chav. I mean, in America, you'd probably have something equivalent to... Rednecks aren't the same things as chavs, but chavs are basically like the dregs of English society. And she was like, oh yeah, we're the what? Yeah. Just talking like that. I was like, ah, yeah, okay. One of those kind of mothers. The one that sort of pays about 5% attention to their child. 95% chance to like the person on the phone. Maybe 94% to the person on the phone and 1% to spatial awareness. Yobbos, yeah. She has been judged accordingly by myself. I have found her wanting for scummery and skullduggery. I don't really like people like that, as you can tell. It's just too scummy for my liking. Scummy mummy. She would be a Karen if she actually cared. She's one of those kind of ones. Just lets the kids sort of like learn themselves. Like, I mean, you shouldn't necessarily judge and assume, but I think it would be safe to say that there's probably a 99% chance that she probably lets the kids just sit in front of the TV for like 95% of the day whilst they're awake. It's one of those kind of people. Like, I can't guarantee that's the case, but I could make an educated guess that that's probably what happens.
More gold is required.
So in about 5 to 10 years' time, that kid's going to be stealing your car radio.
Watch and learn.
Upgrade complete.
Wait, what happened to little Timmy? Where's my baby? My baby! It was the man. What? A murder has gone afoot. I will get to the bottom of this. Who killed my friend? Maybe this is the last level. Big old boss. Oh, you could actually just have him fight. I'll let him get to the end though, but I reckon this guy might be able to tank it because he only does 100 damage, doesn't he? Judge and embrace your inner aristocrat. Look down upon the plebs and the commons. It's not that I look down on people, it's just I look down on people who I think are bad people, if that makes sense. Like, you can be a commoner or a pleb, but if you have a good heart, I'm not going to have a problem. But if I can tell you're probably just a piece of shit, you know, I'm not going to like it so much.
Be quick.
Alright, gentlemen.
Greetings, my lord.
Let's do battle
Blood elves.
versus this supposed boss who is probably not prepared for this many spell breakers.
Thirst for magic. Very good.
Wait, what's going on here? Porky coming in for the steal. Easy 201 gold.
Thirst for magic. Be quick.
Gentlemen, let us help Soap. Yeah, that's the other tactic you could use versus boss levels in particular.
Blood elves.
These guys are only melee though, so they can't quite reach.
Your magic is mine.
Get on with it.
Your magic is mine.
It's mana.
Well done, you saved the civilians from being slaughtered. I mean, there you go. It's not a janky TD because you at least get a cutscene at the end, which is more effort than most people put in. There you go. So the map obviously has massive issues because it's way too easy if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you'll actually probably find it quite tough the first time round. But you can see it can be very easily exploited. So the premise is very good. It just needs better execution in terms of the later levels. Nerfing the power of the guards by a significant margin would be one way to go. There's no reason for them to be that stupidly strong, otherwise the civilians are never in trouble. The issue of them fighting... I think if you made it so that they don't have an attack, and the boss doesn't have an attack, until it reaches the middle of the map. I don't know how you would trigger that, but once the boss reaches the middle, like, once he goes through the maze and gets here, then your civilian, your boss gets, like, damage. Because otherwise they just aggro if they've got damage at this point. I enjoyed it, though. It's good stuff.